Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Okay, shout out the guy who pointed this out on Twitter, but the guy who allegedly took out that CEO, Luigi Mangione, they found his Twitter and this was his header. And at first you're like, yeah, it doesn't look that weird. We got like a thirst trap of him traveling, nothing weird, pretty normal. There's a picture of his surgery that people are suspecting radicalized him, especially since he's 26, and at that age, you're no longer covered by your parents' insurance, you have to find your own. And there's this Pokemon. And when I first saw this, I was just like, oh, Breloom, he likes Pokemon, based. Not only that, he likes Hoenn, double based. But Foxy Grandpa on Twitter pointed out, Breloom's Pokedex number is 286. In the Bible, if you look up Proverbs 286, it's this.
Shout outs to Munchie Monk. Wow, what a gem right there. We done got Riddler IRL. Did Breloom just become the symbol of the revolution?
This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning.
So a lot is coming out about Luigi, the United Healthcare shooter. He was valedictorian of his class in 2016. He got his degree in engineering from UPenn in 2020 and went on to complete his master's degree. Here's the crazy part. He had a YouTube channel with a video that was supposed to drop on the 11th of December, and it said, if you're seeing this right now, I'm already arrested, but stay tuned. And then there was supposed to be that video dropping on the 11th, but now this entire YouTube page has been taken down. And I'm sure that it's because they are looking into any clues and they don't want anything to be spread to the public. They don't want to have any copycat cases. We are never going to see that video that he wanted us to see. His Instagram, as of this afternoon, had almost 90,000 followers because it just exploded, but they have taken down his Instagram as well. I'm hearing through the grapevine, even though it's not substantiated yet, that he was triggered to do this because of his grandparents dying and not getting the medical attention or approval from the healthcare system that they needed in order to stay alive, where they could very easily have stayed alive. And this was retribution for that. Apparently it was someone in McDonald's who had tipped the police off that he was there because he looked like the suspect, and that McDonald's was in Pennsylvania. This is a very ironic picture. Unfortunately, we don't live in a video game, and I know now that he's caught that he's probably never going to get out. I understand that you can't go around killing people, but that should go for CEOs as well. I would be lying if I said I wasn't saddened by this.
The class of 2016's inventiveness also stems from its incredible courage to explore the unknown and try new things.
Yeah, I heard he pulled his mask down trying to flirt with one of the cashiers. That's crazy, bro. I think what's shocking is that YouTube video that could have uploaded if he wasn't found. But even if it would have uploaded, it would have still revealed who he was. Hate to hear what happened to his grandparents, but she's right. You just can't go around offing people.
Hey, Tyler.
I guess we found your guy.
Yes, we as New Yorkers, we appreciate it. And you just did a great job. Heads up policing. You took a dangerous person off the street. We thank you so much.
It was great to do.
More than happy to do it. I can't say I was expecting it waking up this morning, but no, it was a great experience.
For me, and I'm more than happy to take someone like that off the street.
How many years do you have on the job now?
Less than a year, actually.
Wow. Well, you're gonna be the most popular police officer in your town.
Bro, in high school, he was voted best pickup line. And his downfall for all of this was flirting with a cashier at McDonald's.
Why would you be in such a celebratory mood about the execution of another human being?
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Serious?
I mean,
Joy
I
in a
guess I would
man's
say
execution?
maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
We're
this is a
watching
man
the footage.
responsible for
How can this make you joyful?
Shout outs to Piers Morgan, addressing the elephant in the room. There's been mixed reactions and mixed emotions as to what happened. Some look at Luigi as a hero. A lot of us was taken back at it. I think it sucks how desensitized we are.
You see what we deem as professional killers, like the South American sicarios. You'll see a frenzied rush up to a target where they will pull out their weapon and fire away in a haphazard fashion. This gentleman was calm, cool, collected. He then had an escape and evasion route plan, which also shows a level of professionalism, a level of planning and intelligence.
So you expect me to believe that this fucking guy was responsible for killing the CEO of United Healthcare? That guy's name is Luigi Mangione, and police are reportedly holding him in custody. But this entire situation surrounding Luigi is really interesting. Do you know why? Luigi was actually arrested on a gun charge after being picked up while eating at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And he had multiple fake IDs and a gun with a suppressor. That's according to officials. But he was also in possession of a certain document. A document railing against the healthcare industry, saying some really interesting things. And according to some reports, Luigi had some ill will towards corporate America, with two quotes that I want to specifically mention that were in the document. One stating that these parasites in quotations had it coming. The other saying that I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. Now I'll get to the most interesting part here in a second, but what I really want to ask right now is why the fuck would he have something like that in his backpack? Especially if he were to be responsible for that shooting. But get this, right? A partial fingerprint and DNA that was actually recovered during the search have reportedly so far not yielded any matches. That is when compared against law enforcement databases. And the fingerprint was actually recovered from a purported burner phone, thought to actually belong to the suspect. But the DNA is from a water bottle and an energy bar wrapper that supposedly the suspect is said to have bought. But get this, right? The NYPD chief of detectives, Joseph Kinney, later said that the gun was in quotations ghost gun, meaning it is more difficult to tie to past crimes. But apparently police will now see if the ballistics match the shell casings that were found at the scene. You know, the infamous shell casings that had engravings on them saying deny, defend, depose. Somebody needs to write a book on this shit. But do I believe that this Luigi guy was responsible? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I mean, the eyebrows do kind of match. Shout outs to Beauty Marked. But yeah, man, it might be hard to believe that this was the Kirby. I think the way the crime was committed compared to the way the criminal got caught is not adding up to a lot of people.
The drones in New Jersey and more. What can you tell us? What is going on, and why is it taking so long to come up with an explanation?
Yeah, it's a good, I don't blame people for being frustrated. Let me say most importantly right up front, we see no evidence, and I say we, this includes Homeland Security, FBI, Secret Service, our state police, authorities at all levels of government. The most important point to say is we don't see any concern for public safety. That's number one. Number two, having said that, it's really frustrating that we don't have more answers as to where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. We had last night 49 sightings. I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later. I would just ask folks to continue to let the FBI or their local law enforcement know when they see something, and we'll continue to do everything we can with our federal partners to get clearer answers.
Why is it so hard to get answers?
These are apparently very, as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And, you know, we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure. So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
All right, my friends, I got a weird one for you. And before we begin, I can't believe I have to do this, but TikTok removed this video for misinformation. But here's the article right here saying that Canada had a UFO shot down back on February of 2023 by a US F-22 fighter jet. Try censoring this one. about an article Canada just put out yesterday about shooting down a UFO. Do you remember seeing this video from years ago on February 22nd, 1996? February 22nd is a key date here. Do not forget that. Of the tether incident that apparently took place out in space, where a 17-mile long tether broke off of a space station, and as they filmed it, they zoomed in and captured all these weird looking objects floating past the tether. Now, many people have tried to debunk this video and try to explain that this is just weird stuff floating in the foreground, but take a look at the shape of these apparent objects and compare it to an article that Canada literally released yesterday, December 8th, of an updated image from a UFO shoot down. Yes, they claim to have shot down a UFO over Canada back in February of 2023, 27 years to the month later after this NASA incident took place. Canada claims it shot down this UFO, and then only yesterday, December 8th, 2024, did they update the image and re-release it to the public. According to a defense spokesperson, the image was taken from a Royal Canadian Air Force CP-140 Aurora long-range patrol aircraft before the object was downed by a US F-22 fighter jet. The UFO was shot down on February 11th, 2023, shortly after it entered Canadian airspace through Alaska. It was one of 3 unidentified objects blasted out of the sky that month, according to CTV News. Okay, so now we know that the UFO was actually over Alaska and then moved into Canada and then was shot down by US F-22s. Such a wild story. Now, right off the bat, I do not trust NASA as far as I can throw them, but I cannot ignore the fact that with all this drone stuff going on in Jersey and the United States, and the fact that we discovered military escorts taking place right over these areas, that is leading me to believe that this is a giant surveillance situation or some sort of test to see how the public is going to react to this. I mean, take a look at these images from Canada, and the timing of Canada releasing this is insane. Why wait till yesterday of all days to re-release an image from February of 2023? It just seems like all this UFO and drone stuff is being put out to the public by design, and it's triggering us to remember other videos like I'm doing right here. These look almost exactly the same. You have the circle in the middle and then the cutout on one side of the dish-looking craft. Just something that's very hard to ignore. What could possibly be the end goal here? Is this about causing some sort of fake alien invasion in order to get some sort of ultimate control over the human population? It's been said time and time again that if a great outside threat were to take place and put every human being on Earth in danger, of course the goal would be for everyone to come together in one way or another to help stop it. Sounds a little bit like the New World Order to me. Alright, my friends, let me know your thoughts down below. This UFO and drone stuff is getting out of control. I appreciate you all. Hope you had a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Most def, shout outs to Into Thin Air. Now that was a good catch right there. Why would Canada admit to shooting one down now? Does it relate to Jersey? What's going on? Shout out to Queen Serenity 1. Look at that. Caught some footage. What I think looks like a UFO. Was it headed to Jersey? This is crazy.
Okay, so I know a bunch of people are going to fucking think I'm crazy, but about an hour ago, I'm sitting here watching TV, and I start hearing a bunch of, sounds like fucking fireworks going off right now. I'm in Long Beach, basically downtown area. So I start hearing this fucking loud crackling, blah, 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 blah. It sounds like fucking fireworks going off. I'm like, what the fuck? Is something going off across the street? Like, you know, is there a partying down the neighborhood? So I go out on my back patio on our porch, and I look out towards, I guess it'd be sort of the north direction, 405. It's going to be like towards greater LA, Compton, Downey passing, I don't know, out that fucking way, right? You know, it could be far, I don't know how fucking far it was, but like you're hearing these pop, 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 and it's like almost like a finale of a fucking fireworks show, right? But again, it's December 7th and it's 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. So, you know, but you never know, it could have been a sports event or some shit, right? So I take out my camera and I start filming it to get the audio because I want to send it to my spouse to see if he thinks that he has heard it where he's at, because he's currently his mom's over in Torrance area. Let's see if he's heard it or caught it from a different angle. So I record it, and then I, you know, pop it into the text messages here, and I send it to him. And then as I'm looking at it, I noticed a couple little like lights blinking in the corner, like just real faint. So I zoom in on it, and I'm looking at it, and I start watching the shit. And next thing you know, I see this one in the corner by this tree that's in the video come falling down super fast. It's about, I think, at 43 seconds or right around there. So I cut it up, look at it, zoom it in, slow it down for sure. Something comes falling fucking super fast from the sky from the upper right corner of the tree that you'll see in the frame. Anyway, so then I go back and look a little bit more. Notice another one appear in the corner, and then you know, it just starts zipping around all slow and weird and jagged, and you can see it just doing a strange pattern. It's very, very bizarre. But if you're zoomed out at the normal aspect ratio, you can't even hardly see it, right? But if you zoom in into the top corner, you'll see it plain as day. Well, same thing. I cut it up, isolated it, even turned up the contrast and brightness on it so that it gets so you can see it a little bit better in black and white. And you can see it sure as fuck. It's fucking moving around like a woo, and then you can go back to the original video and zoom out, and you can, now that you know what you're looking for, you'll see a little tiny faint image of it. You can tell it's not a fly, it's not a bug, it's not a glimmer of light, it's some weird fucking thing that's flying around. Then you see something definitely fall. It looks like a shooting star fall from the sky, all bright lit. And you still see in some of the rest of the video, if you zoom in even more, and you can analyze it as much as you like, please, that it's got other little things flying around or hovering around that are light. So I don't know what the fuck you make of it. I think it's pretty fucking weird. It was very strange. It literally, if you listen to the audio, it sounds like a bunch of bombs are going off, or a big battle. Brings to mind the Battle of Los Angeles over there in San Pedro in like the 1940s or some shit. But anyway, it's weird. So, you know, I'm just going to upload it. You guys fucking analyze it, criticize it, call what you will, pass it around. Please do, because I'm curious as fuck if anybody else has seen this, heard this shit. This is in Long Beach, California. December, I guess it would be the 7th, right? Because it's technically now after midnight, but it's Saturday. It was Saturday, so Saturday night at 11 p.m. California, Long Beach time. Get it? So anyway, I'm gonna upload it. I'll put it together with this little cut here, cut the videos together, put it up there, and then you guys can, you know, figure out what to do with it. All right.
Sounds like fireworks. It's December 7th. What the fuck is making all that noise? It sounds like fucking firework plants exploding. Look at that, explosions and shit. What the fuck is that?
Shout out to Sean Francis Duval. That was very interesting.
I want you guys to look at this and see who is teaching mankind how to use electricity. Well, what is that? Has everything we learned been fictitious? I mean, we've all seen this illustration, right? Where it's just normal people using these light bulbs. But I wonder where this one came from. That's very, very suspect, isn't it? And then you got the things in his hand. It's very apparent he's using electricity. But again, what is it? Oh wait, there he is. He's actually in a ton of Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it gets a bit stranger because Google AI says that Nibiru seems to be the home of these beings. In general theory, of course. But what's this red thing right here? To me, it looks a lot like Nibiru. And trust me when I say that, they're obsessed with it. So again, I ask you, what is this thing teaching technology to the ancient Egyptians? Why does the Bible compare Satan to a serpent? Wait a minute, these things couldn't be fallen angels, could they? And before you say no way, look at this depiction this hieroglyph found 8,000 miles from itself. Of course, with the pine cone. Self-enlightenment and wisdom. Wisdom and technology. When the angels fell from heaven, they took on a very scaly form. Don't ask me how I know.
That was really interesting. Shout outs to the Real Moon Henry. To everything that's been happening, it makes you want to pay attention to them hieroglyphics even more.
Jay-Z filed a motion for the Jane Doe's identity to be released that is suing him and Diddy. Right on behalf of our client Sean Carter concerning the inflammatory allegations made against him in the recently filed amended complaint. Based on the meritless and fraudulent accusations, Mr. Carter filed a motion to deny the plaintiff's request to proceed anonymously. And he's saying if the Jane Doe doesn't want to come out with her name, then they need to dismiss the complaint. Due to the highly sensitive nature of this matter and intense media scrutiny it has generated, we respectfully request this to be heard on an expedited basis. He thinks he's special. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Carter is entirely innocent. This is a shakedown. He is not mentioned, referred, or implicit in any way in the criminal investigation of Mr. Combs. And we still have yet to hear anything from Jay-Z about Diddy. Not even in his statement last night did he say anything about Diddy. He is neither a target nor a person of interest in that investigation. Adding to the urgency of this matter, attorney Tony Busby has orchestrated a months-long press campaign aimed at inflaming public opinion and escalating the events in real time on social media platforms. Every day and in real time, Busby continues to amplify false narratives, exploiting the legal process to generate media attention and damage Mr. Carter's reputation. And let me just stop right there because let's read Tony Busby's other statement that he released last night regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my client. Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my law firm. He filed his frivolous case under John Doe. Telling me that the victim can't file Jane Doe, but Jay-Z filed a motion for the Jane Doe's identity to be released that is suing him and Diddy. Right on behalf of our client Sean Carter concerning the inflammatory allegations made against him in the recently filed amended complaint. Based on the meritless and fraudulent accusations, Mr. Carter filed a motion to deny the plaintiff's request to proceed anonymously. And he's saying if the Jane Doe doesn't want to come out with her name, then they need to dismiss the complaint. Due to the highly sensitive nature of this matter and intense media scrutiny it has generated, we respectfully request this to be heard on an expedited basis. He thinks he's special. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Carter is entirely innocent. This is a shakedown. He is not mentioned, referred, or implicit in any way in the criminal investigation of Mr. Combs. And we still have yet to hear anything from Jay-Z about Diddy. Not even in his statement last night did he say anything about Diddy. He is neither a target nor a person of interest in that investigation. Adding to the urgency of this matter, attorney Tony Busby has orchestrated a months-long press campaign aimed at inflaming public opinion and escalating the events in real time on social media platforms. Every day and in real time, Busby continues to amplify false narratives, exploiting the legal process to generate media attention and damage Mr. Carter's reputation. And let me just stop right there, because let's read Tony Busby's other statement that he released last night regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my client. Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my law firm. He filed his frivolous case under John Doe. Telling me that the victim can't file Jane Doe, but Jay-Z can file Mr. John Doe after Tony Busby. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. And let me just talk about this part, because a lot of people are confused, saying, well, why wouldn't she ask for a penny in this demand letter? Well, that's because demand letters don't work like that. The second that you send a number in that demand letter, then that could technically be used as extortion. So they seek for a mediation in a demand letter to sit down and talk about amounts. It's not that the victim didn't want a penny from him. Just in the demand letter, they didn't put in a monetary amount, because then you would actually be stepping the line into extortion, possibly. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. But his conduct has had the opposite impact. As far as the allegations in the complaint filed, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not the media. And Jay-Z's lawyer said that Tony Busby was in the media. This relentless campaign underscores the need for a fast-track hearing to address issues promptly and prevent further harm. Furthermore, the plaintiff's allegation, coupled with the conduct of her counsel, Anthony Busby, suggests a deliberate attempt to leverage the judicial process to generate unwanted media attention and pressure Mr. Carter into a settlement. This misuse of the legal system undermines both its integrity and Mr. Carter's ability to defend himself effectively. It is critical that the plaintiff's identity be disclosed so that Mr. Carter can investigate and respond to the claims fully and fairly. We further note that the timing of this filing coincides with ongoing media coverage of unrelated matters involving Mr. Combs' criminal trial, in which Mr. Busby does not represent victims. Amended complaint appears designated not to seek justice, but rather to amplify unsubstantiated allegations and harm Mr. Carter's reputation by Anthony Busby. Allowing the plaintiff to proceed anonymously would deny Mr. Carter the fundamental right to confront his accuser, while simultaneously enabling the plaintiff and her counsel to conduct a trial by media. And all I'm going to say is Jay-Z sued Tony Busby first under John Doe. So if you want the same for yourself, I suggest you also play by the same rules and don't try to file an extortion lawsuit under John Doe. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Salute. Shout outs to Kadisha Lynn. I don't know how she be getting these court documents so fast, but she be on it, and that's crazy. I think the way he's responding speaks volumes.
You are going to jail, Sean Carter. There is no getting out of that. I am telling you that right now. Diddy made the same mistake last year. All he had to do was pay out. And guess what he said? I ain't doing it, that bitch. No, I'm innocent. Until he got caught on camera. You definitely don't learn as fast as you used to. Times have changed. You didn't think you was gonna have to pay the piper, Sean? I told you on Pierce, you will respond. Did nobody catch that there was no mention of Diddy? There was no mention of Diddy. He talked about how heinous everything was. And he talked about how if all of it is true, there should be criminal charges. He talked about this and he talked about that. You're not being brought up on a case by yourself. You and the Diddler. See, it's really simple. If you want a monster to fall, you cut off its food supply. And that's what I'm doing, Sean. This isn't about me feeling vindicated. This isn't about, because this is just beginning for me. Like this, I got a little break. I got to rest. And now it's about to get real. You're used to getting away with red rum. Tony Busby is used to making sure orders get carried out. Y'all ain't the same kind of men. You want to talk about honor and valor? Do you know what a man with honor and valor would do? He wouldn't pretend like he didn't know his friend. His best friend. Who knows all about him inside and out. You want to talk about valor? Valor and honor? What's honorable about destroying a bunch of teenage girls' lives and then getting them to sign paper under threat and coercion and pharmaceutical inducement? While you sit there and remind them about all the tapes that you have about the honor and valor?
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. Before we go, I want to give you a huge shout out to Lahoma Simmons, Dennis Baker, and Betty68 on becoming the channel's newest members. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Peace and blessings. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
Just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Till next time.